Do you feel the pressure to grow your business, but doing so feels a bit like drowning? Welcome to Slow Growth Business, the show for business owners and leaders to quiet the noise and lead your business to success, one day at a time, slow and steady. If you feel your business is running you and you're ready to run it, you've come to the right place. Now, here are your hosts, business coaches Jimmy DeGroat and me, Kyle Bullock.
Do you know what our subject is today?
What is our subject today, Jimmy?
You totally know what our subject is today.
You did. You told it to me beforehand, and I've forgotten.
This is the subject today is of course it's January, right? If you're listening to this, it's January, and the subject is why retailers in general do not plan for the year.
Oh, yeah.
Why they don't make plans?
And you know what? I'll start with this. I think a lot of retailers, independent retailers, think they've got a plan, but it's just a written down like prediction of the year, which is not the same thing as a plan, by the way.
No.
A plan is like the prediction's a goal that you set that you think this is what I'm going to do, and then a plan says how I'm going to do it. And that latter part is what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And I did a Chat GPT search on this, and it was very enlightening. And so I'm just gonna spill here, and then let's address it later. Okay. So day-to-day, why retailers fail to plan. Day-to-day firefighting crowds out strategic thinking. Okay. So the immediate gets in the way of the important, right? Planning forces confrontation with reality, poor margins, inventory mistakes, staffing inefficiencies. It's like scared of reality. Makes sense. If I don't write it down, it's not real. So, and then there's, of course, behavioral insight. That's the whole Kyle Bullock thing there. Oh, by the way, welcome everybody to the podcast. I'm Jimmy DeGroat. That's Kyle Bullock. You figured that out already. Fake experience for strategy. So I've been doing this for 30 years. I already know how the year's gonna go. I know how it goes. So it turns experience turns intuition into intentionality. I won't go into the key insights. I'm just going to give you the reasons. Planning feels overwhelming without a simple framework. And this is one thing I think you're going to give today because you've already done that with a great planning video. Let's see cheapers. It goes on and on. So I won't bore you with all the details, but I mean, heck, we can start from there. Fear of accountability. No clear ownership of the planning role. Nobody owns it. Retail rewards motion, not progress. Planning feels overwhelming without, I got. So look at that. Those are the reasons.
I'll tell you a story. This I'm thinking of.
All right.
Happened over the holiday season. There was a retail business I've chatted with and done some informal consulting with for a couple of years. It was a homegrown kind of a business. You know, it started as kind of an Etsy shop style thing, and then it grew into this idea where she goes, well, I want a storefront. So she opens up a storefront.
Okay.
And over the holidays, she decides it's time to close. So she closes the business. It was just not working. And it goes back to the homegrown business thing. Why did that happen? There's all kinds of reasons that someone can give. Perhaps they have. I'll tell you why. I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but it was very easy to understand. About a year or two ago, when I started discussing it with this person, this is not going to work. This will close very quickly. This business will fail. Do you know the famous line is that 50% of businesses fail within the first 5 years, or 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years? Some crazy thing like that.
Right.
And you see a lot of businesses like we do. It gets a bit easy to understand why and when that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to work. And it came down very simply. The giveaway for it was this: they didn't know number one, how much money they're making. And they really? Like they had, I have sales numbers, but what's your profit? I don't really
Right.
know. And number two, they didn't have a plan for the long haul. How much money do you need to make in order to make the storefront work?
Right.
No, if I could just make a little bit more than I did last year, I think it'll be fine. So what they ended up doing is without a real plan and understanding of the grand picture, they just kind of go from one fire to another out until they just can't firefight anymore for whatever
Right.
reason,
Right.
and it closed the business down. I just
Yeah.
think that was an embodiment of what you read on ChatGPT. The local independent business owner is putting out one fire after another, and they are reactive, not proactive.
Yeah, and I think a huge factor there is the ego, is I know how to do this. I've been doing this for 30 years, you know? But the reality is you haven't done it for 30 years with tariffs. You haven't done it for 30 years with social media being a big factor in marketing. You haven't done it for 30 years with the things that change in our business. So we do fail to plan. And the other thing I think too is I think we always think the way it's always been is the way it's going to continue to be, right? Is that kind of normal thinking?
I think it also comes out though, and when things don't go the way we want, it ends up being blame placing. The economy
Yeah.
sucks, things are hard. I just got to keep doing this. I got to keep plugging along.
I got the wrong people. I need to get better people.
Yeah. I'm just going to do this indefinitely until I die. There's no real thought about what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you here? And pay some thought to that. You owe it to yourself. And the flip side, by the way, is true too. I'm thinking of another retailer that we both know that is growing at a seismic click. I mean, one thing after another, they keep popping it up. And you might ask them, why are you doing this? Why are you expanding as much as you're expanding? And their answer is probably going to be, well, because the business is successful. There's so much growth. I'm like, that's not a reason why. You're just telling me what's going on. Why do you want to do this? And I don't know that they have a reason other than there's a tidal wave. I've caught the wave and I'm riding the wave. And as Charlie Munger, very famous cohort to Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, Charlie Munger would say that so many businesses, big ones, massive ones, are simply a result of catching a tidal wave.
Yeah.
You caught the wave like Polaroid did. And you got in at this time and you rode this wave and things went so well for so long and you were reactive for so long that really the only value of the company is how long you're going to ride the wave. And some waves last decades and other waves lasts maybe years.
Yeah.
But all waves come crashing to the shore.
They do eventually. And I'm a huge fan of Michael Girdley. He's always what happened with Blockbuster? What happened with Red Lobster? He's got a YouTube channel, and I'm addicted to that, and I love that. But to your point of what you were just saying, another thing about, and I don't know if you want to call it a wave or not, but the other thing is, I had a good friend who had a Pandora jewelry store, and he had it in a mall. And in its heyday, if you had a Pandora store, you were printing money, right? You were printing money. And so he told me about this crazy this business scheme that he did, and it was planting these really unique trees that took 7 to 10 years to mature, but when you got the crop, it was kind of funny. But his words to me were, when I asked him why he's doing that, he said, when business is good, you can screw up a lot. When there's a lot of money to play with, there's a lot of forgiveness there, or you can hide a lot of sins. Now, that's not fully the point, but the point is this. I think business is pretty good for a lot of retailers, specifically jewelers, and it's good enough where they maybe don't feel like they have to pay attention to those details or do those things I don't want to do or plan or look at the reality of my margins or look at the reality of my discounting or whatever it is or the age of my inventory and things like that. It's good enough. I got that stuff. It's paid for. It's in the safe. It's an asset.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I know I'm going down a big hole here, a really big hole, but I think that also lends itself to it's not that bad, so I don't need to, put out a lot of effort.
Resting on your laurels.
Yeah.
Again, that works until the wave comes to shore.
I love it. Yeah.
Which is funny because I guess there's waves coming into shore behind you. Green screen.
Yeah.
Those
Well,
analogies out.
like I said before, my background is either going to be really bad and ugly or it's going to be cheesy. So I chose for cheesy.
Oh man, I just going to the theme of today about creating a plan. A sales or business goal is by saying, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try to figure out what I will reasonably sell each month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what I can expect to profit in each month. That's a goal. But then you have to go, well, how do I get there?
Right. You got to have the plan that follows it.
Right. When do you?
That's not a plan.
No. Well, you got to think, when do I pivot? Well, when the plan doesn't get me closer to the goal, and spending time thinking about how you get there. Now, what you've alluded to a video I created for our Train Retail subscribers, where I take you in less than 12 minutes through a basic business planning and goal settings scenario, and
Yep.
a personal one for your personal sales team.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I was editing it when you called me, so
very basic, right? It's very,
Yeah.
very simple. Anyone
Yeah.
can do it, right?
with a sheet of paper.
It will give you a goal. Now, I'll tell you what the plan is. We're creating goals there, but the plan comes down to growing the business in really two ways: the number of transactions and then your average retail.
Exactly. And you know what? That's brilliant right there because we all think it's top line sales. We just got to sell more.
So, or what?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to interrupt you and because I'm Captain Obvious here, but that's I think what a lot of people say. How can I hit this number? Well, why are you focused on that number? Focus on these two numbers.
Yeah.
So-
I just came from an assessment with, we were sitting down talking about product that we're trying to bring in. And there was a desire to bring in a certain product line that would have very entry level price points. And the team was very adamant. We want to do this. We want to drive our transaction count, which is great. But then we had to ask ourselves, is that our goal? Well, kind of, sort of, not really. And if it is, how many more of these would we have to sell in order to really hit our goal, the one that we wrote down? And we decided that it would take an unrealistic number of items sold, 3, 4, 5 times the number of items sold than we would normally sell, just to make up the difference. And then as we looked at it, we all went, "Well, that's not a really great idea." It was kind of cool at first. We got all jazzed, but then we did the numbers, looked at our goal, compared it to our plan, and we said, it doesn't make sense. It's not for us. And we have to embrace the plan. It's a great idea for somebody. It's just not going to work here. That's a plan. And it actually I think it kind of hurt us a little bit going, man, I wish we could do that. I wish it makes sense, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We're trying to continually adapt to the surrounding, but by sticking to our plan.
And I don't want to give away the secret sauce because I want everybody that's listening this to subscribe to our video platform for starters, because we work with a lot of people one-on-one, and that's what we really love doing, and we can make the most impact with your store that way. But if you're a little skittish on that, for $150 a month, and this is not an ad, this is a news article here. For $150 a month, you get management training via video every week, and you get sales training via video every week subscription. So I want everybody to subscribe to that. Please subscribe to that because they're our sponsor. We are our sponsor. But the beautiful thing about what you do in this video, and I've always been a proponent of this, is okay. So we've got these big goals. We got this annual goal. Break it down by month. That's a lot more palatable. Now, I love what you did in this training, and that is, what are the actions that we can do every single day? What are the behaviors, the motions, the methods, the words we can say? What are the things that we can do every day to achieve that goal? And you break it down in a really palatable way, and I love that. So, and you know, anyway, I won't go into it much again, but it's just, I think if you're setting big audacious goals, bring it down to the day. Bring it. What can our people do every single day to achieve those goals? Right?
Right. So at the end of this, I hope everyone takes away is that you need to plan. You need a plan that tells you how you're going to get there. And then we want to encourage you this as we start off the year, that every decision you make has to be filtered through the plan. It's going to lead you to saying no to things that are good ideas, but they're just not good ideas for you.
Okay, so let's just talk about a few specifics in that regard. And you and I had a client that wanted to have this big event for a product that wasn't making them any money. Okay, but they thought that was the way to go, and then you and I challenged them, "Hey, why are you doing this? You're trying to grow this aspect, you're trying to grow these verticals in your business, and why are you gonna put all this money and promotion into that, which is the opposite of all that?" And then not only that, you're sending a message to a 50-mile radius around your store that you're focusing on the low hanging cheesy fruit, you know? And I remember that was kinda fun. That reality.
Yeah, filter, filter, filter. And how you filter it, I think you can explain a little bit more, Jimmy, and how you see how you filter it. But I take that plan and just and the idea, whatever your idea is, and really ask yourself, how does this idea feed into this plan? I'll end with this. I I joke that I'm the nerdy guy. I like data, I like numbers, I spreadsheet and things. But I'm kind of becoming I think the the Dave Ramsey of the industry, where I'm going to be a broken record saying the same things because it's the truth. I think it works. I believe it like gospel. You have to be. If you cannot measure it, it does not exist. If you cannot measure the success of your plan, it does not exist. If you cannot measure your goals, they don't exist. They're just lovely ideas.
Or emotion based.
And oh my gosh, you're going
Yeah,
to react so hard
right,
to all kinds of ups and downs.
right.
And so to avoid that as a leader, you have to divorce yourself enough distance and say, I'm going to assess this back here. Be objective. Am I
Yeah.
measuring my goals? Are they measurable goals? And honestly, how will this idea grow this one? And if you can't give me a very straight line and show me the success and tell me what success would look like, then it's not going to work. It'll never work. You just ride
You're
the wave
absolutely
away to the shore.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You know, a funny testament to what you just said is, and we hear it every single year, retailers, "Oh, so how was your December?" "Oh, man, it was tough, and it was blah, blah," and they're emotional about it, and they're just off of their big season of the year where they should be celebrating. And you and I are sitting here looking at the numbers and going, "You just knocked it out of the park." Okay? Get your emotion out of this and bring it down to black and white here. And here's 8 reasons why you should be celebrating right now. And in some cases, booking a trip for your staff to go on a cruise, for crying out loud, which is really something that one of our clients did because they achieved their goals. So, but it's, I don't know. I think the big things are, take emotion out of it. Don't worry about it being such a big process. And goals are not a plan. Goals set the plan, create the plan, right? I'm trying to boil this down in a couple is that Do I got it boiled down? Is there anything more than that I need to boil down?
You have a goal. Your plan speaks to your goal and filter everything through that lens.
Sign up for our videos every week. $150 a month gets you 6-7 videos for your staff, for your management. I mean, if you just did that, and then you've got some amazing little, you call them recipes for all kinds of planning, marketing, sales things, events in the store and things like that.
I'm calling them videos because it becomes so much more than that this last year.
You're right. You're right.
They're trainings done in almost live time. We're creating trainings every week for you, so it's relevant to what's going on today. And a huge backlog of extra trainings in there. They're not just videos like you'd see on Masterclass. They're us speaking to you, and we hear from you, and we respond to you with what's going on in the industry. Think of it like that: $150 a month for 6-7 trainings a month that help you grow your business and filter everything.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man?
You hold nothing back.
And you and I are not general. We're very specific. Here's how to do it. And in a lot of those videos, we encourage communication with your team. So your team is going to grow. They're going to grow together, and they're going to, they're just going to become more of a cohesive team. So, all right, enough about that. You got it. You get the idea. So, all right, key takeaway.
Make a plan.
Make a plan
that speaks to your goal and filter everything through that.
Sounds good. Yeah, and it should speak to your goal. I like that. Not a top line sales number, because a top line sales number is just a number. Okay? And we're always asking our people, what's the big thing you want to accomplish this year? Where do you want to go? Some people it's a trip. I'm sorry, I keep going down rabbit holes. I want this podcast to go on forever. All right, let's say goodbye, Kyle.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Kyle.
We hope you leave this episode a little better than when you first began. If you'd like more resources to grow your business slow, steady, and consistently, check out our on-demand video catalog at trainretail.com. Or if you have a question or frustration we can help address in your business, write to us about it. We love to help solve big, ugly problems. So hit us up at kyle@trainretail.com or jimmy@trainretail.com.